Okay, let's hawk to it. I mean, with this model I don't plan to do much, I just need to do some quick array topology. Because in Nomad, while we can sculpt that, I really haven't found a way to, how do I put it? Not really retopologize, but able to like do it with a single vertex, like being one vertex wide, like so it doesn't have any geometry basically. You can do some things in Nomad, like for example, you can do it individually, but you can't do it with how do I put it? You can't do it with multiple objects merged together, basically. I haven't found a way. Anyway. Long jacket. With leather. Being here also allows me to look up some more references. Yes, that is exactly what I need. Though I don't really understand how his like little shoulder pauldrons work. Are they just gonna on top of his jacket or jacket with pauldrons? Oh yeah, it is a real thing. It's called an outback jacket, but I see. So it just kinda doesn't connect to anything. Good to know. Okay, let's see what I can do. So why is it not symmetrical? Oh yeah, of course it would not be symmetrical because well, the jacket is symmetrical, but for example, like this part here won't be because it's a different object. Just need to do something like this. Excuse the sneeze. Sneezy boy. Oh wow, the just shows how like good the topology is here. But that's okay, it's gonna be all retopologized anyway. Oh my goodness, sneezing again. I think I'm allergic to streaming. Oh no. How sad. There we go. Did I like use inflate on this by accident? Why is it like also messed up? It's very strange. That'll do. Let's see. Still not symmetrical though. Oh no, it is. Gaslighting myself. Okay. Just maybe a bit here. I mean, to be honest, I'll adjust the Slater bird. Something like this. Okay, and then we can gonna retopologize this. Okay. So I'm gonna add a. The best way to do this is probably to do a cylinder. Oh, hello there, Vega. I was kind of hoping you would not be here because it's spoiling the model a little bit, but oh well. I think you probably know what I'm working on. But yeah, I'm alright, Vega. How are you? Good to see you. That's right. But no, it's alright. I was gonna show you a work in progress anyway, but yeah, as you can see, I am indeed working. I'm working on the boy. Captain, please. Yeah, Captain Piss. Yes. It's an unfortunate consequence of the madcap. Thank you, Vega. I mean, it's still very early stages, but I think you kind of can see the idea behind it. You can see the vision. But as with anything in art, especially in 3D, very early models look super cursed. So, but you know, holding up hope. Anyway, how are you, Bugless? Good to see you. How was the outing to the game store? And also, yeah, already asked, but nonetheless, it is nice to see you, Vega, as well. Games are good. Games are indeed good. And Bugless is indeed fine. On that subject, kind of Bugless, I think... No, to be honest, you don't emulate, but you do like appreciate retro games. I use this like graphics tablet. Well, it's not a graphics tablet, it's an Android tablet to sculpt on the go as like a sculpting program. And I realized that, you know, it's got actually a pretty powerful CPU and plenty of RAM, so I was like, maybe I can try emulating on it. And yeah, it's pretty good for emulation. Just installed a PS2 emulator, so if I ever get sick of modeling on the go, I can play some, I don't know, Devil May Cry or something. Mind you, it's not really like a massive, how do I put it, benchmark nowadays, because, you know, the hardware is so old, but nonetheless. Yeah, exactly, like, it's not like the most impressive thing, but I think I could probably push it even a little bit further, but, you know, still. It's kind of crazy how far emulation has come. I remember, like, having a pretty powerful PC, like, 1 or 2, like, well, like 16 years ago, and, like, running PS3, PS2 was impressive. But now it's, like, all in the dust. I might even be able to like emulate like the Wii U or like the Switch, maybe not the Switch, but maybe like DSi or something like that. The 3DS. Emulation is great. Obviously, in your humble opinion, Bugless, I presume you would prefer just owning the games outright on original hardware, as is the kosher way to play. But yeah, if you don't have that, emulation is a great alternative. Yeah. I think we had that rant before, but like emulation is important because, you know, not every game publisher is going to, you know, how do I put it, re-release a game or anything like that. So like if, you know, the game's no longer in production and you kind of run out of the original copies, it's basically lost forever. Yeah, exactly, Bugless. Not particularly. I know there's like a slightly more efficient way to do this. Like I could, technically speaking, snap it to the code, but yeah, it's fine. Yeah, absolutely. Like some, you know, Nintendo kind of tries to do it, but like do it so like half-assedly. Might as well not bother. Yeah, exactly about this. Anyway, appreciate you guys popping by. As I said, it's been a very long time since I streamed, so yeah, getting the rust off. Don't like to use too much topology, but kind of forced to. As long as like not too topologically dense. Oh, by the way, Bugless, like I was browsing Instagram and I was like randomly recommended like a video, and it was like from the freaking guy who did all the graphics for, you know, for Battletoads, for Donkey Kong on the SNES, for Killer Instinct, and it just like casually recommended me like his Instagram video. Yeah, no worries, Vega. I mean, I kind of do the same thing. Like while I watch your streams, I usually just you know, model or play something on the side. So it's understandable. One thing I'll need to figure out is how to do his neck. Very good question. Like, he talked about it, like back then you didn't even really have polygons. Everything was like simulated in like NURBS and NURBS, and he was talking about it as well during that video. And the craziest thing is, like, he was like drawing the Donkey Kong head, but like he was also like drawing the topology on it. Like, he was doing these polygons, like literally drawing them as if he's in a 3D modeling software. Like that man is like on another level. It's absolutely bonkers. It never kind of ceases to amaze me, like how the work, you know, of few people can make such a massive impact. I mean, that's always been with humanity, you know, like, you know, new person invents something or like makes a monumental discovery, and kind of everything just changes around that. But still, must be cool being like the you know, the innovator. Let's have a look-see. Yeah, it's kind of in there. What if I dissolve these? Yeah, to be honest, I don't really need it that much. It does leave the topology a bit bare in this area. Not even like send you the clip. Like, even if you don't know anything about 3D, it's just crazy how he draws the like Donkey Kong head. By the way, I won't be working on this model too much because I'm working on it in my other program, Nomad Sculpt. But I do need to do this because I cannot replicate this in that program. And from there onwards, yeah, I'll continue to the if a few more people do join the stream, like a few of the regulars, there is like a poll thing I want to do, because I want to hear you guys' opinion on the stream. But I am a just and fair person, so I'll make sure that there's like some people there to, you know, have rights of opinions. I'm glad to know, Bugless, that you are voting like just any other American voter, with complete like disregard for the actual topic and without any knowledge on it. I'm joking, of course. And I mean, and so are you. But, you know, in case there are like people like, no, we're Americans, we're very informed voters. I know, not everyone is. Might add an edge loop here just to make things flow a bit better. Let's see. If I am not mistaken, all of this will be, all the modifiers will be applied when I transfer it over to Nomad, so it doesn't really matter too much, but still, just want to make sure that it, you know, is as optimized as possible. I wonder if I don't remember. There's I can try it. I don't remember if phase sets translate between the softwares. In theory they should, but theory is a fickle being. But I'll try. Anyway, as for the reason for the kind of like lack of streaming is I've really not been doing all that much 3D. I've been kind of mostly focusing on 2D stuff and learning how to draw and all the fundamentals and things like that. And actually, that will kind of tie it into what I was talking about, having a poll. But again, we'll leave that maybe for later. Okay. Yeah. Looking much nicer. So what I can do is I can now get rid of that that other code. Be gone. Nice. And then do this. How does it look? Does he have? I think it does have. So I believe. There is also this, like, I don't know what you would describe it as, like cravat kind of thing, where it has this little side pocket, something like this. Yeah. Oops. Yeah, something like that. Should probably close this acid browser, but again, I'll probably leave that for a later discussion topic. I have noticed that it's been a little bit quiet on on Steam, on Twitch recently. As far as just the amount of streams and viewer numbers. Maybe everyone's having their spring break. Who knows? Anyway, got those things here. Dude, it's all like, it's all. Oh yeah, of course, because this is a primitive. Nah, I might leave this for later. Oh, I see. Actually, has a little separation here in the middle. Good thing I noticed that. There you go. Looks a little bit ox. Let's move that here. I mean, the rest I can kind of push along. Okay, so that's that. And then he also needs these, I don't even know what you could call them, like side pauldrons. Goes up to roughly this area. Right now it's meant to be a cowboy hat, but it has no thickness, so it just looks like it looks like he's like from Indonesia, like he's a Indonesian Muslim. Truly is the wild cowboy of the wild east. This looks something like this. Kind of like, I think this is like an AI image, so it doesn't quite obviously make sense, but it kind of like tucks underneath the jacket. This is more like kind of drapes over it, still remaining mostly circular. It's got this little operation here. The Borderlands soundtrack sure has a lot of like plinky ploinky ambient noises, but you know, it's fine. At least it doesn't get picked up by the copyright system. Anyway, as usual, we'll keep this stream around an hour, maybe just a tiny bit more, and in a very hopeful future, we'll again start ramping things up as we go along. But for now, still quite a far bit away from that. Can only like assume what it looks like on the back. kind of tucks into here, and goes here. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but it's not like it's something like that. It's not really that pointy, but there's something similar. So real bugless. Even like, still I can hear the kind of faint echoes of the Borderlands dialogue. Although I will say this track is quite nice. It's even out of all the ambient tunes, I still kind of remember it. Let's see. It's a little bit kind of I suppose it's got some padding. It kind of like raises above his shoulder, like a bit unnaturally. Yeah, I would say this is a decent compromise. I can adjust it later. The main thing is that there's like a base shape that you can work with. I'm not gonna make it sense from the back as well. Yeah, I would say this is for the most part decent. Sure, it kind of connects here. I think that's kind of mainly the can't really blame you, Bugless. Can't really blame you. No, that Borderlands dialogue certainly is something. Okay. I suppose actually, is this part of his jacket? Kind of, yes, but I could probably kind of leave it as a separate thing. Okay. So for now, we're gonna leave this, because again, I'll continue working on this in a different software. But here I will put it here. That's it. That's all done. Okay, we still got like at least 30 minutes to go, so what could I possibly model? Actually, you know what? I did prepare something earlier. Just gonna call this Doodles, I don't know. Question is, where did I put that? Oh yeah. I wish I only remembered what this Pokemon is. Like, I saved an image of a Pokemon, but then forgot what that Pokemon is called, so I can get more references, images of it. Pokemon Flame, Pokemon with big forehead. Oh, Magma. Okay, then that's who that is. The Butthead, yes. The Butthead. That's what I was gonna type in, but, you know. Well, you know. Anyway, one thing that I've been doing as part of, like, learning on how to draw is just learning the art fundamentals in general. I'm not gonna lie, it's, like, really messing with my head, because essentially before, what happened is, like, when I would, like, model something, I would have no idea what's wrong with that model. Like, you know, if it didn't turn out right, I had no idea what's wrong with that model, and I didn't know how to fix it. Then later, I knew what was wrong with that model, but didn't know how to fix it. Now I know what's wrong with that model, and I know how to fix it, but I just don't have the, I don't know what you want to call it, the hand-eye coordination, the knowledge, the understanding to fix it. And that's kind of what I've been doing with the drawing. So just for the sake of example, what I like to do is, let's see if we can kind of sketch this out as well. So it's like an egg. It's got like a bigger egg on top of it. And then it kind of like connects into an egg shape. Then you got the head, which is like a squished kind of circle. And that kind of tapers off at the end. Then you got the two butts. Then you got the arms, again, which are basically just squished circles. Then it's like the tubes for the arms. And it's the second tube. I say tube, but I don't even, like, I still haven't quite figured out how to do 3D shapes. But yeah. Then you got the, like, he's got a little duck bill, which is not really a shape you can do in a primitive. You kind of just have to construct it. And then it's like the again, two shapes for the legs, cylinder. It's kind of like a squished circle here. Then it's like there's not really any shape equivalent for it. Then you got the flames. And of course you got the tail. There you go. So that's the construction of it, and in theory, like, you should be able to do the same thing in 3D. And we're gonna challenge ourselves by kind of not using any front reference, just side reference. See if we can kind of construct the shape as close as possible to what we're trying to do. So I like this theme. That's the wildlife exploitation theme. Very nice ambient track. Alright. So we have this like squish shape. Keep in mind that we're looking at them from the side. Maybe be like a side view. In fact, it would probably be useful if I think I can new window. Yep. And what I can do is I can mimic the angle of what I'm supposed to be doing. So, oh, I forgot that this one is in trackball mode, which makes it very very awkward to navigate. Why is it in trackball mode? Also, more importantly, like, how do I you guys don't see what I'm doing right now, but it's very weird. Anyway, okay. I mean, it's not the exact angle, but so why are you doing this? Get in here. That's it. It's honestly, Bugless, if you could, that would be a sick way to control a trackball. That would be a very good trackball controller. Anyway, so the other things are just to equally squished circles. Technically speaking, it is mirrored, so using a mirror is not like the end of the world. Except it's the other way around. There you go. And goes here. It's like, this is the most like unappealing madcap you can possibly have. These all look like poop. Yeah. kind of like slightly squished circles, slightly at an angle. Something like this. He's like more, how do I put it? He's more rounded. It's got a bit of a belly, so we need to make sure we're gonna capture that. Yeah, something like that. Although it's kind of lost a bit of its X shape, which is not good. Yeah. Something like that. Yeah, no, absolutely. And weirdly enough, Bugless, like, not sure if it's exactly a trackball, but something equivalent to that is used in some CAD software, like almost like a 3D controller. On the tablet version, on you know, the 3D modeling app that I use, Nomad Sculpt, it's a little bit easier because you can kind of mirror the functionality of a trackball by using two fingers, you know, to kind of represent the axis. It's a little bit easier, but still. So something like this. Ah, yes, the famous theme. That actually might get me copyrighted. Let's not do that. Too late, I'm banned on YouTube. Okay. Angle's not quite right. About this, yeah. So he's got this, and then he's got what the hell did I just do? Why is it? Yeah. And then the feet are just like kind of cubes that been kind of squished, I guess. Subdivided cube. Something like this. Oh, the perspective on it. It's something. Douglas, please don't tell me you're joking. Guys, I can see the music being played on the thingy. Can you hear it now? Because I can see it on the OBS showing as like music being played. Perhaps I should invest into a second device just so I can listen to myself. Douglas, you lied to me. Why do you lie to me? You can hear music playing. Although that being said, maybe it's because I've cranked up the volume. Okay, Douglas, you're a man of truth. You're an Abe Lincoln. This is a very would you call it, a leitmotif, I guess. You hear that a lot in Borderlands. Okay, it looks quite goofy from the front, but it kind of makes sense. He's kind of like spreading out his legs. Then we do the tail. Everyone's favorite tool to use, curves. Connected to his ass. Not sure why these Bezier curves have such a weird color to them. And let's give it some depth. The angle once again is wrong. Either that or the tail is not low enough. Probably that actually. Let's go to, yeah. It's up to roughly here. Thing is, if you put it like, it's almost like at like foot level. I don't know why I decided on Pokemon and of all things. Like, not like the biggest Pokemon fan, but I don't know, maybe like a Pokemaniac will comment and like, oh my goodness, it's a Pokemon. I shall subscribe to this man. I know, Blobby. It's I'm out of breath with the whole marathon going on. Yeah, exactly. How are you, Plobiscus? Plobiscus Monkey. Everyone's favorite YouTuber. It's going alright, Bug. I was gonna say Bugless. It's going right, Blobby. Let's lobby 3D. But yeah, I'm doing okay. How are you, Ploppy? Still experimenting with Unreal, doing some 3D modeling shenanigans, something GeoNodes. And then what he has is, to be honest, is kind of the same thing on top. I just reuse the arm structure, you could say. Oh, nice. What will the redeem be? Something, no doubt, nefarious, which will have poor Plubby have something happen to him. I don't know, he'll get nuked or something. Some arms. Let's So they're being foreshortened, so that's something to keep in mind. But it is symmetrical. Yeah, I would say that's about right. Technically cute. Ooh. That's the best kind of technical. I'll be interested to see how it works. Also, I better see that more like keyword the next time I come on your stream, Plabby. Let's mirror him. Oops. Oh, did you? That's weird. I've never gotten it. I'll need to have a look. Oh, damn! Yeah, boy. Are you like being hit by a flipper? That's a very what nationality or like group does that? South Americans, Filipinos. I mean, that's a very interesting form of punishment. Definitely seen it before. Yeah, that's it. Not. Then, yeah, it would be interesting to see also the to see my keyword if I ever get to see the beautiful floppy. But no, that's I love it. I love these kind of like ridiculous redeems. Really kind of spices things up. Yeah, he's got like a very simple hand, you could say. And he's got a little collar, which also doubles as his neck. His arm should be a little bit closer. Closer, not higher. Yeah, something like that. They're a little puffy, yeah. It's a little bit of puff. It's a good point. When in doubt, just hanging wet. But if anyone can like figure out what kind of insanity to do with the Blubiscus character, it's only yourself, Plummy. And we got, of course, the creme de la creme, the head itself. To be like. Seems to be turned. It's turned the wrong way. Well, right now I can't really see anything because it doesn't really have a head front nor back, but I think, yeah, it is like this. Obviously, that itself creates an endless amount of amusement you can possibly generate from doing that. suppose it's kind of... The neck is turned. By the way, I mean, you know what? I got my loyal free viewers anyway, so I might as well ask the console. The reason why I've not been like streaming that much is because I've been focusing on you know, on drawing and like 2D fundamentals. And what I wanted to ask the members of the audience is, what would you want, or should I say, would you want me to see, like, me draw, or should I just continue sticking with 3D on the stream? My drawings would not be very good, and they would be not very interesting. It's mostly like studies, so it would just be like me drawing what do you call it? You know, like bowls and fruits and stuff like that, like still life and kind of, you know, that kind of stuff. Not to mention it would be a pain to set up in terms of like streaming, because I would need to get myself like a camera, and I would need to well, you know, like get a tripod or whatever and to film myself drawing, because it isn't like in 2D, like 2D, I mean like in analog drawing, not digital drawing. Yeah, true. It is very true, probably. But nonetheless, let me see. What do we think? Twitch, how to do poll. Yep, absolutely. But it's more so as well, like, I suppose you can almost say, like, as from a sense, like, of the general Twitch appeal as well, because you know, you might have like new people joining, so they would you know, they would have no context of my stream, so it's also like in terms of like a new person watching. So let's see what you guys have to say. Crank up some Dino Topo. Oh wow, there goes my modifier. Thanks, Blender. Anyway. But yeah, but just kind of on that subject of what I've been doing, yes, it's quite interesting, Lobby, you know, because I'm kind of trying to work on the fundamentals. You learn a lot, and at the same time you know very little, but it's definitely like affecting my brain in the sense that I'm trying to kind of think more in terms of like just doing things correctly from artistic perspective, not just like from you know, just kind of mindlessly bashing polygons together. Starting to pay more attention to like proportion and construction and how they're called, relationships and edges and shapes. I'm hoping that it will yield some fruits later. Especially like once I get to the part where I start like doing things like volumes, where, you know, start drawing boxes and constructing things that have shapes and cylinders. I'm really hoping that once I get to that point, I really will be able to get like a really good kind of foundational knowledge on how to break things down. Who knows, maybe I'll become the next George Zaki and I'll be the blockout master. But yeah, it's quite interesting. I think probably, like, even regardless of the results of the poll, what I might do is I might just do like a test 2D stream either way. The only pain is getting all the equipment needed for it. I mean, like, you don't need to have like super involved stuff, you know. I can just take out my old phone camera and just use that. But, yeah. I like how Blender always like turns off Dynatopo as soon as you exit Sculpt mode. It's like, you sure you want to leave that on, buddy? You really sure about it? Well, mix of both it is. I think it probably makes the most sense, right? Because another kind of reason why I've not really been doing 3D all that much is because I'm not feeling like any like particular inspiration that I'm really like itching to like do into 3D. Just really preoccupied with 2D at the moment. Is there anything you've been doing, Plobby, in terms of like maybe wanting to learn a new skill or anything like that? I mean, obviously you're already doing Unreal Engine, which is like a task on itself. But have you been experimenting with some stuff as well? True. It's true, Plobby. So true. No, yeah, fair. No, that's fair enough. But yeah, speaking of like you know, kind of really dense things. Yeah, it's kind of, I don't know, call it the is it Dunning-Kruger effect? But like the more like I learn about like art fundamentals, the less I realize that I know. It's just like a whole universe out there. But it's in a way it's good because you're almost kind of approaching it with a fresh outlook and with a fresh mindset. If I can like you know, be able to like properly learn and understand it, I'll be like super Gucci. I'll be Fendi. I'll be Prada. Why is it rotating so weird? Oh, I don't know. I'm sorry that I'm like keep using as like the conversational scapegoat Blobby, but I do have something that I want to also show you. Something I've also been doing on the side is I've been, you know, still trying to do 3D and still trying to kind of learn. I've been actually learning on how to rig. Check this out. It's like it's a rig that kind of works. It doesn't blow up. Absolutely incredible. Although I'm not... I was gonna ask you one thing, but it might be just because I've set it up incorrectly. I've set up like a central control bone, and it's meant to just move the whole model, but some of the controllers aren't properly like being influenced by it. But if I parent the controllers to it, then the controllers stop working. But I don't know. There is no the John and debuggers, but these what it is. Isn't it meant to be like... Didn't I set up by K constraints for it? Out! Oh, holy guacamole. Blender power indeed, holy shit. I always forget about the redeems. Yeah, hi there, Andres. Blender indeed. What brings you to the stream? Was it the exciting rigging action? And yeah, Bugs, I know what you mean. He's definitely doing the duck lips. Also got a bit more of a gormless look to him. Like yes, he's got like a little mouth bell. Yeah, no, and the thing is, Plobby, I would definitely say that I will still be using, what is it called, Rigify Pro, whatever it is, but it's just good to know just the fundamentals of it, in case something goes wrong, or if I want to like make a non-standard character, like, you know, a robot or something. Unfortunately, I'll probably have to do my least favorite thing, which is working with arrays. Let's give him some tassels, I guess you'd call them. Although I really can't be asked to use arrays. Might just copy and paste them. Exactly, yeah. It's kind of a it's kind of the trade-off, isn't it? Probably, like between like dedicating something to do it, you know, let's say properly and from scratch and stuff like that, and or just saving the time by using like an add-on or like a shortcut technique and just continue doing something that you want to do. It's like how do I put it? It's like if you do the UVs and you do like a really nice job unwrapping the UVs and making the seams and stuff like that, and then just using Blender auto unwrap and just like calling it a day. But yeah, rigging is something I'm practicing, and then maybe also possibly animating. Nah, well, of course you do, Plobby. You're Mr. Blender. It's non-negotiable. Holy guacamole, we've been streaming for too long. Abort. That's what happens when you're in the zone, I guess. But yeah, no, it was a surprisingly long and fruitful stream. A whole 1 hour and 15 minutes. By the way, I have a mutual on Instagram, and I realized that she streams as well, but I'm never able to catch her streams because it's like at 3 AM my time, and she only streams for like 30 minutes. Truly, she is a person to my own heart. We should do a collab one time, me and her. Anyway, yeah, no, it's unfortunately it's bedtime for me. No abort. Oh shit, by the way, thank you so much for the follow, Andres. Really appreciate it. For some reason I don't get a notification, which is really sucky because like the most important thing about following someone is getting that sweet notification. That sweet thank you for the streamer. Otherwise, like, what's the point of following? What, to watch the content? Well, tell you what, since we got some people here, let's do an encore, and let's like stream for maybe 5-10 minutes longer. Let's at least like finish the main parts of it. My notifications are a bit of a mess anyway, because what I have is like a combination of the notifications that come with my like OLA pack, but also in addition to that I'll have like stream notifications that I've made myself on Twitch. They're kind of like conflicting with each other. He's turning up. Okay. Surprisingly, he has 5 fingers, which is not usual for like a kind of cartoon character, but this is what it is. How would that work? Okay, so that's his thumb. Something like that. Raised a little bit higher. It's quite funny seeing it on the second viewport. Just how the kind of model works, and yeah, I would say he's kind of done for the most part. Just needs maybe a little flambe on his tail. Let's go to sculpting, Dino Topo. I mean, if there's one benefit to my stream duration is that, you know, you can't say I'm keeping you guys for too long. Anyway, let's just do a little bit of this, a little bit of this. Of course, it disabled the Dino Topo. Why not? There we go. Give it a bit more depth. And there we go. That's true, Douglas. Like, it sometimes amazes me with like the galaxy brain level ideas that you come up with. Funnily enough, I mean, I guess it's a bit of a work anecdote, but like our software solution has a component where you can like roster staff members, so like, you know, you can say who's working when, and like they can do calculations and, you know, yada yada, generate a payroll. One problem our software has is that it doesn't have like rule sets for daylight saving, which means that if there's like a person who's doing like a night shift, which happens to be a massive amount of our clientele, they don't get paid anything. Like, they either get paid too much or too little, and the customer has to do it themselves. But we've just implemented the functionality which does automatically do the daylight calculations, so people can rejoice by being paid exactly the correct amount. Indeed. Well, in some ways they're robbed, in some ways they're redeemed. In general, I think it does like that as a net neutral. But boy, must it suck that when you're doing like a night shift and you look, it's like 2 AM and suddenly it becomes like 1 AM again. But at the same time, I guess it's the opposite as well. It's like 1 AM and then suddenly it's 2 PM. There we go. All done. What I might do is I might look at this beautiful rendition. It's a perfect copy. Anyway, I might duplicate this, move this to new collection. I'll call this like original. Gonna hide that. Hide this. And what I'll do is I'll join. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Blender did not like that. This is... oh no, oh no. Biblically accurate. What the fuck was he called? Incineroar. I'm gonna lie, that actually kinda looks sick. It's like a I don't know what you call it, like a Indonesian like god or something. But yeah, let's not do that. Hey there, Full-Time Slap, how are you doing? I saw you streaming earlier. You were playing something. But because I have the memory of a goldfish, I forgot what you were playing. Well, let me see if I haven't quite like lost my dementia. It wasn't my, it was think more. What the fuck were you playing? Now I've been playing Noita. Blasphemous, that's it. Blasphemous, yes. Yeah, no, it's good to see you. Good to see you. I just realized before I do this, I need to solidify. Modifiers, yeah. Now we go to mesh. Yeah, no, good to see a Full-Time Slap. You've joined just in time for this to be over. Do a super remesh. So who cares about poly count? It's just a sculpt. And then just a little bit of smoothing. And there we go, the boy's done. Oh no, symmetry gone. Oh no. Well, let's give him a bit of like personality anyway. Let's make him non-symmetrical. And there we go. I also just looked at your video library. Apparently you also did a little bit of modeling. Naughty. Full-Time Slap. Doing it when I'm not around. It's paddling. But anyway. And then what we can do is we can just give him a little bit of madcap. Why is that bastard? He's like... It's like a cream yellow. That's I'm really glad to hear that, Full-Time Slav. Why can I not paint? Oh yeah. Not quite the correct color. Nope. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it still should be a bit more close enough. And then it's got a it's so real, Full-Time Slav. It's the feelings is too real. But hey, here's the thing, Full-Time Slav, and now is still better than nothing. Like, the most important thing is to start putting in an effort, and then everything else comes a bit easier. But no, I'm glad to see that you're doing a bit of that as well. And then what other colors does he use? He uses like an orange like this. Yeah, I would say that's just a little bit more on the red side. Too much on the red side. Hoping to stream a bit more and also like just twitch a bit more, really. Anyway. Maybe I'll see you guys on your streams respectively. And I can probably could have masked this by like face group or whatever, but this is not the point. It's just to give a bit more color variation. Yeah, exactly. 3D modeling is not like a bicycle. You definitely forget how to do it. Anyway, oh my goodness, it is late. I am like... I'm going over my stream limits. But, yeah, gonna start heading off in a little bit. Oh great, I forgot to add the thing to my color palette. And of course Blender will no longer know how to recreate that exact color texture. Does anyone have any particular people they have in mind to raid? Because let me just have a look at my friends list. Yep, literally no one is streaming right now. Great. Can't even replicate the color. Whatever. There you go. There's like a wildly flesh-colored duckbill. There we go, perfection. Yeah, that is it for today. As I said, does anyone have any like particular people in mind that they would like me to maybe raid? Because if not, probably just gonna call it a day. No, always feels a little bit kind of wasteful not to do a raid. Gonna make those connections. Sorry, kind of getting weirdly carried away with like adding the last bits. That is also the life of an artist. Yeah, true. Oh man, the 25-man dungeon raid. But you know, full-time slab, sometimes even like one raider is sometimes appreciated. But what I need to do is I definitely need to like stick around on your streams at the end, so at least we can throw in like one extra plus into that stream, ain't it? But for today, I guess I'll just call it a day. Let's just post this beautiful baby boy into the correct pose. And there he is. It doesn't quite look like the reference, but it's close enough. Well, if that's the case, everyone, thank you so much for watching. Really appreciate all you guys coming by. The usuals, of course, Mr. Bugless, Mr. Blobby, Full-Time Slab, Vega, all the good men. And also, thank you very much for the new follow. Oh wait, did he? I have missed it. Technically cute. Oh, Blobby, is that the you know, Blobby, when you said like technically cute redeem, I thought like you meant like it was technically cute. Like you think it's cute, but like you're not sure. I didn't know it was like the actual username. No, why not? That we shall. Yeah, let's do it. First of all, let me just find them. Okie dokie. Alright, let's do this. Perfect song for this as well, because I think it is called Raid on like 3 horns or something like that. Anyway, let's do this. Once again, everyone, thank you so much for watching, and hopefully, well, I'll see you guys quite soon on your respective streams. But when you'll see me, that's That's a different question altogether, but hopefully not too late. Soonish. Alright, bye everyone. Okay. Actually, I'll wait just one more moment. Let's see if anyone else is interested in joining the raid. Most people will just kind of like get dragged along anyway.